Well, some growing concerns over potential cuts in defense spending on the Pentagon chopping block $1.2 trillion over the next decade. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham now warning the cuts could leave our military vulnerable to new threats from Iran and unprepared for the growing military strength of China. Peter Ducey's live in our D.C. bureau with more. Peter?
And Jenna, on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week, we followed Senator Graham as he drove and flew all across South Carolina, meeting with military leaders and constituents in towns near military bases. And he was sounding an alarm about sequestration, which are those $600 billion in extra automatic across-the-board cuts to the Pentagon that were triggered by the debt-reducing super committee's failure to make a deal back in November. Now these cuts are scheduled for 6 months from today, and Senator Graham says that they would be devastating because the cuts make it impossible to plan or prepare for the worst, and like you said, because Iran is provocative and China is rising. So Graham says now is just not the time to turn the military into a hollow force.
It means units without enough people to do the job. It means people without the equipment they need in the 21st century to protect America. Remember those film images in World War II where all the draftees came in when World War II started, training with broomsticks, and they had cardboard tanks? It won't be that dramatic, but it'd be pretty close.
And the Defense Secretary, Leon Panetta, is largely on the same page as Senator Graham.
The last damn thing I wanted to do was to hollow out the force. We've done this in the past. I don't want to repeat that lesson, simply cutting across the board and hurting everything.
Cuts to bases and personnel would have a big ripple effect, too, here in the States, because bases in rural areas like some parts of South Carolina are big moneymakers for small towns.
Well, they wouldn't be able to find jobs doing the kind of work they're doing now. They'd have to look elsewhere, and so you would lose very valuable citizens.
Senator Graham wants to meet with President Obama and a group of bipartisan senators at the White House to find some substitute cuts before the election. But the White House said yesterday they are willing to make a deal, but only if a balanced approach is included, and they complain that Republicans so far have resisted, since Republicans' focus so far has only been on cuts. Jenna?
In the meantime, the deadline looms. Time keeps passing, so we get closer to that point.